Standing forward bends are one of those really common and very tricky positions and movements that we do in yoga, and they can people can get in a lot of trouble doing them. So with this video, I want to talk a little bit about how awesome forward bends are, being that they do require us to not override our patience with our ambition, but instead to really cultivate some graciousness and awareness. And when we're looking at it from the perspective of movement patterns, I've got the pelvis here, and I'm putting the pelvis here next to mine. When we're coming down into a forward bend, the pelvis is moving on the leg bones, right? And when we think about this from a mechanical standpoint, the primary driver in making that happen is gravity. So we will move forward with gravity because that is the direction we're moving. And in order to enable that to continue to happen, the back line of our body from the bottom of the feet all the way up needs to release. It's eccentrically contracting, and it's essentially doing that eccentric contraction to help slow us down. So because our brainstem is saying, please do not fall on the floor and break my head open. So it enables this eccentric contraction to slow or decelerate us going forward. And so that back line needs to release if we want to keep going forward to enable that pelvis motion on the thigh bone. So this pelvis motion on that thigh bone, which is why you will find that people use a ball to roll out the bottom of the foot, right? They will roll out the bottom of the foot in many orientations or lengths of time because it releases the bottom of that back line. And so when you roll out the bottom of your foot, and I typically have people do it from anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute, depending on their capacity, and then they stand and they notice a change through their whole system, and they come back into the forward bend, they really notice something different in how their system moves forward. The same thing is you can take this ball and do the exact same thing onto your bum and roll out your bum. You can do the same thing on the back of your calf and roll out your calf, doing both sides, then coming back up into standing. And then lo and behold, as you come forward, you'll find that that pelvis is moving better on the leg bones, right? Simply because we're releasing some of that tissue in the back line of the body, which is what needs to release to enable that motion to come forward in a functional, easy, smooth way. Now, you'll also have seen, and you've also probably been taught, using a strap. And you can place a strap around your legs here. And you can do it in a sort of a snug way. And then the strap, you can either start with your knees slightly bent and to press your legs out. And this is not exactly the same as what you're doing with the legs straight, but you can start to get a feel of when you press your legs out using your abductors of your hips. You'll start to feel that your pelvis might move better. And I say might because for some people, this doesn't help at all. For some people, what actually helps better is placing a block between your legs. And you might place it this way, or you might place it a little wider. But the idea is you're placing it right in the meat of your adductor, so close up towards your pelvis. And you might find that one of these, either the strap or the block, provides you just a little bit more stability in that frontal plane, which then enables the sagittal plane movement to move more easily. It's as if those adductors or those abductors are telling the back line of your body, hey, I got you. I got your support. I got your back, so to speak. I've got the support. You can now let go and release. And so then you'll often find that you'll go further into your movement. Now, this clip isn't about how to go further. This clip is about how do you improve your function, your overall stability to enable that function to take you further. Because when you've got better function, you will have more depth. More depth doesn't necessarily imply better function. So I tend to work with people more from improving a function perspective as opposed to going deeper into a position, because the depth, just like posture, naturally arises out of better function. So you can play around and explore that. I'm sure those little tips and techniques are not new to you. We've seen balls, we've seen straps and blocks before, but how you use them, it might be a little bit different for you. So explore it, have fun with it, share it, see what happens. Enjoy your practice.